Now on Newsday TV, we are tracking another coastal storm that could dump more snow on the island late Sunday into Monday. Here we go again. I'm Macy Egland. Just how much snow hasn't been easy to predict this time around, and that's why we have meteorologist Jeff Banson here with us to track this latest storm for us. What's going on with this one, Jeff?
I'm very quickly becoming the unsavory character in the Newsday studios here.
It's bad news.
When you see me, it probably means there's something on the way that might not be great. It is very likely going to be a snow event here. We're just kind of ironing out the fine details at this point. I'll give you my headlines here to start things off. So the timing right now, it's looking more into Monday. I know, folks, we've been getting kind of tired of all these weekend storms, and it's still getting going on the weekend, but it doesn't start ramping up in intensity until Monday. That's when the plowable snow is very likely here. It's trending upward, moderate to heavy snow, some wind as well. Again, a little bit of uncertainty remains, but that uncertainty is becoming less quickly. If you are not a fan of snow, the overnight updates were not your friend. The GFS model has been saying snow from the get-go here, and the European model has yet to join the party until overnight. And now we're starting to see some agreement here. First and foremost, let's take a look outside today. Temperatures on the mild side to start things off. We have rain that's moving into the region right now. You can see it out west. Very heavy rain across southeastern Pennsylvania, moving into New Jersey right now. A little bit of wintry mix up here. Some colder air from Scranton up into the Hudson Valley. That will not be an issue for us, though. It's plain rain, as you can see, throughout the day today. Very high likelihood that we'll be seeing rain, and things don't start winding down until this evening. So if you do have Friday dinner plans, that could be some fortuitous news for you. All right, so let's break down our scenarios here. We know there's going to be a storm. We know it's going to phase with another piece of energy coming down for the Great Lakes. It's really a matter of where the track is going to take it at this point. And we talk so often about the 70-40 benchmark, because when storms, winter storms that is, track over that benchmark, we tend to get the highest amount of snow here. Nor'easters, we get that wind gradient as well. Remember, nor'easters can come in varying degrees of strength. Doesn't always have to be a powerful major nor'easter. It can be a weaker nor'easter, but a nor'easter nonetheless. We're going to get that wind gradient. Again, maximizing both snow and wind with that track. Now, if it goes a little outside the benchmark, this is really what it was looking like over the last 24 or so hours. It's going to be a little bit outside the benchmark here. Still moderate snow, still breezy conditions, but not the max. And then there's that out to sea track where we get just a little bit of snow, likely no wind at all. Right now, we're trending towards maybe being a little bit closer to that benchmark. So as we go throughout the day today, again, heavy rain this morning, tapering off afternoon into the evening. We'll see skies clearing overnight. As we head into your Saturday, it's a mostly cloudy day. There's actually a little weak disturbance up over New England. Could bring some light rain or snow showers, but fairly inconsequential. Now, this is where things get interesting. Here we are on a Sunday. There is that northern energy I talked about up over the Great Lakes. Here's our major storm, or our main storm that forms over the southeast and starts riding up the coast. And as these come together, it was really just a matter of where was this phasing going to take place? Was it going to take place just south of Long Island, or was it going to take place a little bit further east? It looks like it's closer to Long Island right now, and you can see that heavy snow beginning for the mid-Atlantic into New Jersey. That's on Sunday, but as the storm wraps around, strengthens, and it hangs up a little bit, that's the important part. We get a little bit of blocking out to the Atlantic that keeps this storm in as we go into Monday. So that's when it looks like our heaviest stuff is going to come in. Notice those isobars getting tighter, so the wind gradient's picking up, and they're coming out of the northeast. So this has the potential to be a classic winter nor'easter here with major effects across the area, and then finally starts pulling away as we go throughout the day on Monday. I'm going to show you some snow models here. We're working on, fine-tuning this actual forecast here now that we're getting into the 72-hour window. Notice here, stopping it at about midnight, Sunday, all the snow is off to the west, almost completely divided by the Hudson River here. Then gets east of the Hudson, Long Island included in that. As we go into Monday, that's when our numbers start getting a little bit higher here and ballooning 6 to 12 inches perhaps. That has been the trend. Again, that's not our forecast yet, but that has been the trend. And, we're going to keep a close eye on this throughout the day today. Make sure you stay with Newsday TV for all the latest as we head into the weekend with this potential winter storm. 39 today. It's a mild day for all intents and purposes. We've got cloudy skies, we've got rain. Clearing out tonight, low right around 32. Could be some patchy refreezing and maybe a little icy glaze in some spots. Keep an eye out for that. And tomorrow, a very mild day, 44 degrees. We're going to see a lot of the snowpack that's on the ground finally melting. We're finally starting to see grass, Macy, and bare pavement, only for it potentially all get covered again Sunday into Monday. Again, we're watching that closely for you. Clearing out as we head into Tuesday, Wednesday, and to Thursday, potentially another storm. This is a very active pattern for the lower 48.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
A former child therapist who pled guilty to sharing sexually explicit videos of children is expected to be sentenced today. Renee Hoberman is facing a minimum of 5 years in federal prison. Investigators believe she likely traded more than 600 photos and videos of child sex abuse. Hoberman worked with children at a mental health office in Melville before her arrest. Seniors and veterans in the town of Smithtown are eligible for state tax breaks. Surviving spouses of fallen officers are also included. Last year, Governor Hochul approved legislation allowing municipalities to provide property tax exemptions to residents meeting certain requirements. We have more information for you on our website. An affordable housing project in Riverhead is moving forward. Northville Commons is getting millions in state tax credits and subsidies. It'll be built on land owned by the First Baptist Church of Riverhead and be located 1.5 miles north of Main Street. The project already has zoning approval. And an affordable housing plan for seniors in Freeport is getting $12 million in state funding. The project calls for 80 apartments on the corner of Broadway and Rosedale Avenues. It's expected to create about 150 construction jobs. Only in Newsday, electric vehicle registrations surging on Long Island. By the end of December, there were a little over 87,000 EVs registered. Now, that's a 23% jump from last year. And part of the reason is buyers took advantage of an expiring federal tax credit. Only in Newsday, NYU Langone has decided to stop medical services for transgender youth. Virginia Huey tells us how the move is affecting Long Islanders.
It's just very harmful, and it's scary to be in this country right now as an LGBTQ person.
There's fear in Long Island's LGBTQ plus community over NYU Langone's decision to close its prominent medical program for treating transgender youth. 19-year-old Cameron Wilson of Medford received puberty blockers at 15 and started taking testosterone last month. Wilson says he and his peers can't imagine not having access to gender-affirming care.
Gender-affirming care is health care, so it's just going to hurt a lot of people.
NYU Langone's move comes after months of mounting pressure from the Trump administration to pull federal funding from hospitals that provide treatments such as hormones and puberty blockers to minors. The hospital cited the current regulatory environment among the reasons for discontinuing its program. In December, the Trump administration proposed new rules that would ban Medicare or Medicaid funding to hospitals that provide gender-affirming care to patients under 18.
Doctors across the country now provide needless and irreversible sex-rejecting procedures that violate their sacred Hippocratic oath by endangering the very lives that they are sworn to safeguard.
Advocacy groups condemned NYU Langone's decision, saying ending gender-affirming care would jeopardize the physical and mental well-being of young patients.
This sends a message to transgender youth, LGB folks, and other marginalized communities that our health care is up for negotiation, and that our health and our lives are dependent on political ideology, not science.
For me, it was important because my body just doesn't fit like how my brain works.
Wilson says he's fortunate to be receiving care at Edward Condon Medical in Comac, but he's concerned other major hospital systems will follow NYU Langone's move.
We're just people too, and that we deserve health care.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Only in Newsday, 2 wind farms being built offshore could soon affect your electric bill. The financial impact from Empire Wind and Sunrise Wind Farms is due to soaring construction costs and new projections in wholesale energy prices. A Newsday energy reporter Mark Harrington has those numbers.
Some of the numbers for the costs of these to customers, the bill impacts for customers, are slightly higher than what we believed or what we had been originally told in 2024. For average customers throughout the state, both the Sunrise Wind and Empire Wind will be increasing bills by about $3.54, according to the most recent state figures. When these projects were first introduced in 2019, when they told us under $1, probably something like 73 cents.
You can read more about this story on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Well, athletes from around the world are hoping to stamp their names into the record books at the Winter Olympics. In this week's Picture This, we look back at when Newsday captured some of the biggest moments in the game's history.
It had been a tradition at Newsday. We had always covered the Olympics.
Over the years, Newsday has captured incredible feats and devastating losses as competitors, including many from Long Island, go for gold. Now we're digging into the archives, highlighting those memorable moments. Our director of photography, John Keating, played a big role in that coverage, documenting the 1998 Winter Olympics in Japan.
I remember during the opening ceremonies, they brought out 70 sumo wrestlers to perform a purification ritual. They also brought out one of their superstar skaters who lit the Olympic torch, and that was very symbolic for the Japanese people.
That year, many eyes were on the rink.
Tara Lipinski was not actually the favorite skater.
It was a rivalry that captivated the world as she edged out fellow American Michelle Kwan.
Tara Lipinski came out of nowhere to win the gold medal. She did a much more challenging program than Michelle Kwan did.
From figure skates to hockey skates, the U.S. women's hockey team was also making history.
It was a great time for the Americans. They had been favored to win, and the Canadians were their big rivals, and they ended up winning the gold medal and having a great victory.
4 years later, the Olympic spotlight shifted to Salt Lake City, Utah, and Long Island found itself at the center of it.
Sarah Hughes was not one of the favorites going in. She was in 4th place.
But the 16-year-old Great Neck native shocked the crowd.
Sarah ended up winning the gold medal very unexpectedly. It's always exciting when one of the superstars at the Olympics is from Long Island.
And now the U.S. has another figure skating champ. You can see more Picture This segments on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. It's a new spin on a beloved Long Island breakfast staple. In today's Feed Me TV, Elisa DiStefano and Maria Elena Martinez show us where to customize your bacon, egg, and cheese.
You know bacon, egg, and cheese is huge on Long Island. Here's a place you can customize your own. I'm Elisa DiStefano. I hope you're hungry. Yum. So you went all over Long Island tasting bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. So what brings us here?
Well, Hometown Bake Shop is one of the best bakeries on Long Island. And what they have in terms of bacon, egg, and cheese is this customizable DIY board where you can take one of their homemade breads and add sausage, which they also make in-house, bacon, cheese, vegetables, condiments, you name it.
Decisions. Should I just go big? I'm here. I'm going to go big. I'm going to go with the, I might regret this later, cheddar biscuit, turkey bacon, avocado, Swiss cheese, gotta have it. Some spinach. Moment we've been waiting for. Wow. Voila. Thank you. Thank you. This looks amazing.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. The cheese ball. Now this is a bacon, egg, and cheese. Wow. What'd you get?
7 grain, scrambled, bacon, cheddar, and caramelized onions, and hometown hot sauce.
The biscuit's so good.
There's nothing like a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Nothing.
On the island right now, there are all these different creative versions of bacon, egg, and cheese. The one that I really love is at Bianca Latte. It's a full crescent. There's one in a wrap at Organic Crush. It's a little healthier, if you will. And then there's an incredible pizzette at Sparrow in Garden City.
If you want your traditional bacon, egg, and cheese, there's plenty of that to go around, but there are plenty of creative special sandwiches. All right, this is like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Holy smokes.
Always looks good. All right, find more places to grab a bacon, egg, and cheese. There are plenty of them. We know that. On our website, newsday.com. Click Get More below that Newsday TV video box. See more on these stories on Newsday.com and watch us streaming anytime on Local Now, YouTube, and the other streaming services you see here. I'm Macy Eglund. We've got more local news coming up.
Catch the latest from Newsday in high school sports.
And be part of the action when I take your questions. Email me, text me, hit me up on X, Instagram, make a phone call. We're going to have a great time all season long.
Sarah sounds off.